And we are live for a special Friday morning bedhead edition of The Process. It is March 11th. We've closed out the work week, coming off of the nice 2-game slate yesterday. We've got 10 here to get through. We kind of got to move through it as quickly as we possibly can. Looking to be out of here around 7:45. Got the gym today. It's going to be one of those early ones. You'll get me for the strategy show, though, with Laffy as well. Plus, me and Neil going to do a little bit of a pod later today. I hope you guys have watched Neil's shows so far. I think I'm going to be number 4. Hubro was last. Certainly think that you guys should go check that out. So go to our YouTube channel for that. Yesterday was fun. I'm a little tired. I was up late, having to swap out for Barton. Was trying to wait as late as possible. But that Sixers-Nets game was absolutely terrible. Just a truly dreadful performance out of Philly. Couldn't make anything inside the three-point line. Not ideal. Ended up getting 8 lineups into the top 1%, and none of them were inside of 100. I hit 100 on the dot, which is hilarious to think about. I just didn't have James Johnson, who was the key piece that was needed. Didn't have that one going, unfortunately. So anyway, time to dive into this one because, like I said, I don't have a ton of time. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. And then right here, hit the link. Link should be in the description of this video. Go to awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo. Yes, Prize Picks, the presenting sponsor of this video. Get yourself 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You'll get a deposit bonus. And we have Prize Picks player prop tool on awesemo.com. It will help you out tremendously. So make sure you're checking it out. Oh, man. Okay, good morning. I got the Fanduel basketball championship in New Orleans this week. Brother and wife making the trip from Tampa as your proxy just texted me that they canceled his flight overnight, so they're driving 9 hours. Oh, Mangle, I'll go for you. That's brutal. That's brutal. You definitely need to get somebody there. Alrighty. It's cheers time. I got my coffee. I hope you do as well. Whether you've got a coffee, tea, water, beer, whether you're eating Pop-Tarts or chicken nuggets or smoking a joint, all those things will work for right now. This is the way we close out the work week. Cheers. Clink. Best of luck to everybody. Let's win some money tonight. Damn good. Very necessary coffee for today. All right, let's get into it. Ooh, Brian, good to know. Brits opens April 2nd. One more month. Not that I get down there all that frequently. That is not close to me. But I will get down there at least once. Minnesota. In Orlando. Wolves are 7-point favorites. Ooh, I got to turn down the audio. No, I already did that. Good. Hey, I don't have to do anything. Minnesota 7-point favorites in Orlando. And I'm going to treat it like they're at full strength. Is that true, though? It appears to be. Actually, I don't want to do what I just did. That was dumb. Let's fix that. There we go. Resizing windows that I don't want to resize. It's not going to help me at all. All right. Back to Minnesota. Yeah, so Q-tag on Edwards, Q-tag on Vanderbilt, Q-tag on Prince, Q-tag on Jordan McLaughlin. I'm just going to go with the assumption that everybody is in. I don't really see a way around it. Although, by the way, good morning to everybody. I see a lot of good mornings in chat. I feel like I didn't say it. So a lot of good mornings, a lot of coffee cups. Good morning to all of you guys. Yeah, I'm going with the same rotation that I had in prior to the last game. I have to assume that everybody is in, which means rates are all the same, which means Minnesota can just hold. Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. I mean, clearly I'm going to be jamming Anthony Edwards, but that's no different than any other day. We'll look at Orlando. This one will be a little bit different. Everybody is available, which means that we get Jalen Suggs back and we get Markelle Fultz back, which means I got to start this entire rotation from scratch. That's just a completely different team. Yeah, what's really funny, look how quickly I can get to that canter. For some reason, this was hanging on my closet door. It's hanging off the edge of, I don't know what to hang it on now. So it's there, and I can see the World Series hat right now in my closet next to it. They're both out as if they were supposed to be out. All right, Cole Anthony. We're gonna put him in for 30 minutes. We're going to say Markelle Fultz is the backup point guard. We're going to say Jalen Suggs is in for 28 minutes. And then the rest of this is just going to be kind of normal. Wendell Carter Jr. in for 31. I think I'm going to have to save this file and reopen it. It's a little sluggish. Let's do that now before it annoys me the entire time. I know. I gotta get it actually built and ready to go for soon. I'm not excited about it. I'll be able to cover a lot of basketball, which is good, but I'm probably gonna have to do some baseball stuff, and it's just gonna be depressing. It really is. All right, let's go ahead and get this back up here. Maybe. All right, there we go. I could feel it when I was typing in the minutes that it was just a little sluggish. That's really not helpful at all. So if I'm being honest, though, the entire computer feels a bit sluggish. Not ideal. What are you going to do? All right, Orlando back, good. So we'll say Mo Bamba, backup center. And then something in the neighborhood of 4 minutes. Take them to 21. Just make Jake and Terry do it for a couple months, gladly. We get 16 minutes in for Mo Wagner. We'll get 30 minutes in for Franz Wagner. We'll get 26 minutes in for Chuma Okeke. And then we're looking for Terrence Ross, RJ Hampton, Barry Harris. Seems like that's going to be what we want to go to. Although, honestly, I don't know. Ross could certainly not play. I don't know why Terrence Ross is still on this team. It doesn't make a ton of sense. When they were back at full strength, they did go to that 10-man rotation. And they basically all played like 14 minutes. So I'm going to go to something like that. We'll go 14, 13, 13. Dalton, it went terribly. My legs are dead, and I have to go again in an hour. All right, so 13, 14, and 13. And now we got to grab rates for this stupid team because Suggs being in matters. All this for an Orlando team, but unfortunately it matters because they're taking on Minnesota. It's a great matchup. It's a great matchup. So we need to make sure that we're getting Orlando correct. So we will say that Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Wendell Carter Jr., and Franz Wagner all started. How many games do we have with all four of those guys starting? It's probably not a ton because of how long Cole Anthony was out, but it's probably enough to get a decent sample. And I would be correct. Let's grab these rates. But yeah, we got to move quickly today. I'm hoping to not have too many of these spots where I got to grab rates. I need to be more definitive in the things that I need to do because I want to be out my door by 8 o'clock so that I can get to the gym for 8:15. So that allows me to get home fast enough so that I can do the strategy show. No, not back-to-back leg workouts. Today will be upper body. Tomorrow will be total body. That will suck. All right. Sip of coffee. 8 game. You nailed it, man. I like playing it a lot. It's a welcomed change after basketball season is over to like not have to worry about shit. But boy, is it boring to talk about. Cole Anthony, usage rate in, assist rate stays the same, rebounding rate stays the same. Suggs, 24.4% usage rate. Cut the assist rate, certainly cut the rebounding rate. Franz Wagner. Usage rate comes down, assist rate comes down, rebounding rate comes down. Wendell Carter. Actually, a really nice usage rate. Mo Bamba. Already exactly where I needed it to be, to a T. Yeah, I don't even want to think about the Pelicans. I know that one's going to take some time. All right, the rest of this is fine. So, game 1 in the books. Let's take a peek at it. And I added 2 columns here. Not that it's like making a huge difference, but if we look at Minnesota, I added what my target score calculation is. So in this case, it's 5x plus 10 for both sites. I changed those throughout the day. Not that it matters, but for right now, that's what I have in. So you can see the target score and sort of what I would hope their ceiling game is. Anyway, Anthony Edwards, a guy that I want to get to quite a bit, as per usual, 6,400 on Fanduel, 7,700 on DK. I mean, on Fanduel, to me, he's a no-brainer. I just play a ton. I just think he's going to come back healthy, too. Now, it's possible that I should just take a minute away from him, and I think I'm going to do that just so it's not as extreme. I think we can go to 33 here. That softens it a little bit. But on FanDuel, no matter what you think of Edwards tonight, unless he's on a minutes limit, he's just too cheap. On DraftKings, he's good, not great. And then you get into like D'Angelo Russell, Beverly, Towns, Vanderbilt, all on FanDuel as possible plays. But no one will look as good as Anthony Edwards across both sites. On Orlando, Cole Anthony kind of looks like Edwards does on DK. He gets the yellow circle. No other real priorities from Orlando that I can see right now. Game number 2, Clippers at Atlanta. It's so rare to see the Clippers playing at 7 o'clock, but let's take a look at the Clippers to start. The only good thing about a slate like today, coming off of that 2-gamer, is all of the injury report stuff is in. So you don't have to, there's not as much ambiguity here. No Paul George, no Powell, no Covington. So we know what's going on here. This is basically the same rotation we've been getting out of the Clips. I got Reggie Jackson in for 34 minutes. That seems fine. Terrence Mann in for 31. I'm going to make that 30. He's a guy that I get to probably a little bit too much. Amir Coffey can take that minute pretty easily. He's been playing, 26 minutes a game or so. It's not Brandon Boston. And they didn't go to Hood or Semi that last time. They just went to an 8-man rotation. Now, do I think they're going to go to an 8-man rotation again today? No. Do I think Nick Batum is going to play more today? Yeah, probably. So we need to bump up some of these minutes. Unfortunately, the Clippers are about to look pretty decent. Yeah, I'm going to bump Hartenstein up to 21 minutes as well. I think that all looks about good for the Clippers. Nick Batum is popping aggressively. Let's pump the brakes there, but that might just be an issue. I'm going to get Semi out of there and give these minutes to Brandon Boston and hope that they just put him back in there as a 9th guy. No, I actually can't do that. That's too many minutes. That is the Clippers, however. Let's go to Atlanta. I assume this team is also pretty easy to project right now. Yeah, no injury issues or anything for the Hawks. We saw Gallo get 35 minutes. That's kind of crazy. I think his minutes are just going to be up. So I cut Lou Will from the rotation. It was more like they basically cut DeLon Wright from the rotation. Although, did he get hurt? Am I remembering that correctly? He roll an ankle. He played that first quarter rotation, never saw the floor again. They went to Lou Will, and then just Gallo played basically the entire second half. Is Capella in foul trouble? 3 fouls there for Capella. All right, so he had 5 fouls. We can take out a decent chunk of Gallo's time right there. I mean, that would be... Yeah. Gallo just got extra time. The question is, when does he come out? Does he normally close? I don't see it. But Gallo has become a little complicating. 18 for Okongwu looks fine. 28 for Capella seems fine. We only got 20 here, but he certainly missed out on, 5, whatever this chunk is. 5 minutes there. So that would take Capella to 25. He certainly missed out here, picking up 2 fouls. So I think 28 seems about right for Capella, which allows me to lead. I mean, I don't think... Why did John Collins play so little? Didn't play at all in the 4th. Wasn't foul trouble. He was minus 10, so maybe he's not ready. So I'm going to take 2 minutes away from him. I'm going to give that to Gallo. I need to try to find at least a little bit of playing time for Gallo. Hunter didn't play near as much as I thought he would, so I'm going to take him to 32. We'll give Gallo another 2 minutes. I've got Bogdanovic in for 32 minutes. That I want to stick with. In theory, I could chop the minutes of DeLon Wright and Lou Will, and I guess I'm going to do that. So we'll go 8 to Lou Will, 7 to DeLon Wright. The rest of this stays the same, and I think Clint Capella is going to look pretty darn good here. Game number 2 in the book, 648. We're making some progress. Let's look at the Clippers. We don't really have much here. Reggie Jackson, Nick Batum, Marcus Morris on Fanduel. And even that, like, they don't have any yellows or greens. So that's really, here's the deal moving forward. I will only talk about yellows and greens. That'll speed this up. Actually, let's put that threshold in there so that people can see it. Whoops. Thought I was opening that up. Apparently, I was not. There we go. Snip. Now, we'll do green is greater than or equal to 10. Yellow, 8 to 10. Red, 5 to 8. Black, less than or equal to 5. No, less than 5. Got it. And then let's go ahead and merge that. Much better. Now people don't even have to ask. Perfect. Alrighty, so that's Clippers. Let's go to Atlanta. For Atlanta, Clint Capella on DraftKings, 5,800. Again, he lost a lot of time to foul trouble this last time out. If he doesn't lose that time, he's getting 28 minutes. I think he looks good. Clint Capella on FanDuel, not too far behind. Trey Young on DraftKings at 10-1. Those are the best options here for Atlanta. We go to Detroit, 14-point dogs in Boston, 216 total. Barring injuries, I'd be very surprised if we're looking at anything here for Detroit. It's a terrible matchup. No Isaiah Stewart, which we know. No Killian Hayes, which I didn't know. No Frank Jackson, which is common. No Hamidou Diallo. No Rodney Magruder. So this is actually kind of interesting here for Detroit. I'm going to assume that Corey Joseph plays a little bit more because he normally does. And then Saben Lee, I'm going to assume, is just the backup. So I'm going to give Corey Joseph 27 minutes. We're going to give Saben Lee 21. I've got Bagley in for 31. That feels safe. I've got Kelly Olynyk in for 17. That feels pretty safe. I am going to give him a mild bump. Play a little bit alongside a Bagley. Although they did just split. They didn't do that the last time out. Clearly, I would think they can, though, missing so many guys. Jeremy Grant in for 32, Cade in for 34, Bay in for 34. All seems fine to me. Isaiah Livers is just going to have to play more. So we're going to take him up to 21. Man, does Luka Garza play? He might. He really might. They don't have a ton of other bodies. Do they actually have any other bodies? Not really. Just Cassius Stanley, actually. They've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They only have 10 guys if Jamorko Pickett does not come up from the G League. So I'm going to assume that Luka Garza actually becomes basically the backup center to a degree. We'll give him 12 minutes. We'll get Kelly Olynyk to 22. And then that leaves me 6 minutes left over. I actually don't know who to give that playing time to. It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about Corey Joseph's minutes just because he can fit at the 1 or the 2. Maybe they're going to need an extra minute at a Cade, so we'll take him to 35. That's still 4 minutes short. There are 4 minutes to go around here that are actually really important to Detroit. Like, is it Jeremy Grant? Does he just play 33 in this one? The problem is the fact that they should get handled by Boston. All right, I'm just going to go with that. Luka Garza probably plays a little bit more than we would really want. That's not great for Detroit. Rates don't have to change, though. None of the guys that are out actually matter, so I could leave in everything that's already there. The interesting piece is that Kelly Olynyk probably has a slightly higher usage rate than what I have entered here. Try to bump it up a little bit. And let's look at Boston. For Boston, no Aaron Nesmith, and that's it. So I don't get the sense that we have any real changes that need to be made here. Derek White, I have in for 22 minutes. That is going to be too low. We'll take 2 minutes away from Peyton Pritchard there for sure. Get him up to 24 at least. Honestly, it probably should be a little bit more. Maybe take 2 more away from Tice, and we take Derek White to 26. I got Horford in for 32. That's what he plays. I got Time Lord in for 33. 37 for Tatum. 35 for Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart in for 34. Yeah, I'm fine with Boston. So, game 3, Pistons. Cade Cunningham on Fanduel. 7,400 point guard, shooting guard. Only guy with a yellow. On Boston, Time Lord, both sites, DK and FanDuel. DraftKings 7,100, FanDuel 7,700, and I get it. He should absolutely beast on Bagley, and defensively, he should give Marvin Bagley a lot of problems. We also get yellows on Jaylen Brown, FanDuel and DK. Jaylen Brown 7,300 on FanDuel, 8,200 on DraftKings. Tatum probably too expensive for this matchup, although he has been playing exceptional. Guys, we're 26 minutes in. I'm going to retweet the process tweet from our Awesemo NBA account. And then I'm going to say that we got 108 viewers and 49 likes. You guys should hit that thumbs up. We go to game number 4. Dallas Mavericks, 11-point favorites in Houston. Battle for Texas. For Dallas, Q-tag on Brunson, Q-tag on Finney-Smith. No Chris, Pinson, Hardaway, and Frank Ntilikina is doubtful, which means we're just kind of treating it like everybody's in. I don't really see any changes other than maybe wanting to give Josh Green more playing time. I don't really know who I would take the minutes away from. Probably be Dorian Finney-Smith for like a minute, but he plays 35 minutes a game, so I don't even have to touch Dallas. And let's not forget how good of a matchup Houston is. Dallas is going to pop like crazy here. On the Houston side, though, a team that I get a lot of because there's just so much opportunity going around and they play fast. So for Houston, it's a Q tag on Tate. It's a Q tag on Wood. Q tag on Schroeder. Garuba is finally back. I don't think he's playing either way. So I'm treating Houston like they normally are. So 32 minutes for Wood, backup minutes for Şengün, 32 for Porter. Like, I don't really have any changes here. maybe we say that Garrison Matthews plays a little bit less and Josh Christopher plays a little bit more. I don't think that matters. I'm comfortable with the Houston rotation right now as well. Assuming everybody is in, this looks pretty normal to me. Take a minute away from Tate. Give it back to Kenyon Martin. But that's the fastest game we're going to look at for sure. Alice. Wow. 10-7 on FanDuel, 12K on DraftKings. I believe Luka is the best play we've looked at thus far. He and Anthony Edwards were pretty close, but Luka, big time ceiling probabilities here. Love getting to Luka. Reggie Bullock on FanDuel would be your other option here. $3,800 shooting guard. Not the best per minute guy, but should play a ton of minutes. On Houston, I recommend nothing. You're going to need guys to be out in order to want to get to anything major from Houston. Wood and Porter would be your first guys up. Game 5. New York Knicks. 9.5-point dogs in Memphis. 230 total. What do we know about the Knicks other than the fact that Cam Reddish is done for the rest of the year? No Grimes, no Rose, no Noel. Toppin questionable. All right. Well, we're going to say... All right, Jericho Sims is playing a lot less now. Mitchell Robinson, we're going to say 28 minutes. I'm going to leave 12 for Sims. We'll leave 14 for Taj, maybe. Actually, we'll give Toppin the backup 4 run. That gives me 12 minutes for Miles McBride. Should I be assuming that Jericho Sims isn't going to play? Did Jericho Sims not play on Wednesday? That, I guess, is the answer to the question that I really need. Well, they won by 30. Sims did actually play and pick up 2 fouls in the first quarter, so that's fine. So I feel fine with Quickly at 28. I feel fine with Burks at 36. Fournier at 31. Doesn't appear to be right anymore. I'm going to go to 28. That'll get me up to Miles McBride's 15. 37 for Barrett seems fine. I'm just out of minutes. Mitch, Taj, Jericho Sims split all 48 minutes at center. I'm going to go with that. So no changes here to be made for New York. So we go to Memphis. Obviously, pace up spot for the Knicks. That's helpful. Memphis is at full strength minus clearly no Dylan Brooks, but should be back shortly. Yeah, he's doubtful, so he might be back for their next game. Everybody else is available here for Milwaukee. Yeah, sorry, from Milwaukee. From Memphis, so I don't really have any other changes that I want to make. This is sort of the rotation that's in there every game, and I think that looks fine. So another one in the books. Game 5, Knicks. Going to the Knicks. Alec Burks on FanDuel and DraftKings. He's 5,500 on FanDuel, point guard, shooting guard. 5,500 on DraftKings, point guard, shooting guard. That is your best play on the Knicks because he's going to play 36 minutes and he's a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy. Like, Alec Burks and RJ Barrett aren't all that different, and RJ Barrett's $2,000 more expensive than him. Couple yellows, though. Mitchell Robinson on DK at 4,900. He's $1,800 more expensive on FanDuel. Certainly like taking the shot on Mitchell Robinson on DraftKings. And then RJ Barrett and Julius Randle on FanDuel would both be fine. Randle, 8,600. I think that looks okay. On the Memphis side of this one, though, no priorities. Look at all those sevens. Jaren Jackson on FanDuel and DraftKings. Morant on FanDuel and DraftKings. Desmond Bane on DraftKings. All plus sevens, ceiling to target. No real priorities, though, coming from Memphis. That's what happens when you face the Knicks. We're talking about a Knicks team that's 23rd in pace. We're talking about Memphis trying to drag them out a little bit more speed, but I don't really love getting to Memphis today. All right, so we're halfway done. We're at 7:03. We've got 120 viewers and 59 likes. We are moving quite well today. That makes me happy. It's feeling good. We're feeling good. Alrighty, so Cleveland, 5.5 point dogs in Miami, 210 total. I assume that we don't get much of anything here. This is where fantasy points go to die. But we know there's no Jared Allen, and we still know there's no Karis LeVert. So how much do we need to change from this last time out? We got 36 minutes out of Mobley. I got him in for 35. I feel pretty comfortable there. I gave Kevin Love 27. He didn't play nearly that many minutes, but it feels like he could. But I'm going to take 2 away. Ed Davis is going to play a little bit. Got Markkanen in for 33. I'm cool with that. Dean Wade definitely needs more playing time. I don't know who's got to lose it, but someone does. It's not Lamar Stevens. I got Chetty in for 29. He played 11, so it's probably Chetty. I'm going to assume that Dean Wade just starts and plays 30 minutes again like he normally does. So we'll do something like that. 28 for Okoro, 35 for Garland. I got Lamar Stevens in for 11 and Rondo in for 13. That all seems about right. It's not like we're rostering Lamar Stevens on a day like today anyway. So rates all stay the same. I don't have any changes to make. And unfortunately, this makes Dean Wade be the guy that's like mildly interesting from a value perspective. I'm going to take 1 minute away from him just to, make it so that that's not the case. All right, so we'll do something like that. Cleveland's in the books. But again, 210 total. Is that the lowest on the slate? Yeah, 210 total. Detroit Boston's at 216. Next closest after that is 221. We're not really going to get anything here. We go to Miami. I'm assuming they're still at full strength now. Questionable tag on Butler with sinus congestion this early. Caleb Martin questionable. Still no Keefe. So yeah, whatever we had in for Miami last time is probably going to be the answer. We saw minimal amounts of Max Strus, minimal amounts of Caleb Martin. Gabe Vincent was actually the guy. Oh, Jimmy Butler was out. Got it. Gabe Vincent was the guy that was out prior to that. They went to Caleb Martin over Max Strus, and I'm going to assume that this rotation stays the same. I probably need to cut PJ Tucker's minutes a little bit. Take him down to 27. I'll bump Strus back up to 5 there. But everything else looks good to me. And we're just not going to get this game. So for Cleveland, almost all blacks, which can be a really weird thing to say on this show when it's completely taken out of context. But I mean these tiny circles. Dean Wade and Evan Mobley, the only 2 reds there, and that's still not even all that interesting. Again, not that we're surprised. For Miami, if Jimmy Butler plays, he's 7,800 on Fanduel. That looks good. He gets the green circle. That's what we're looking for. However, there's not much else here. Butler on DK is a red. The rest of it looks terrible. So basically cross off Cleveland and Miami. What are you going to do, Cantor? I meant what I said. Charlotte at New Orleans. So we know we have something to look at here on the Pelican side. I don't know if we have anything to look at on the Charlotte side. I assume that we don't. Can't remember hearing anything. No Gordon Hayward, still no Book Night. Jalen McDaniels probable. So we know what we're doing here. Isaiah Thomas got 11 minutes the last time out. Hopefully they don't play him again because that would be stupid because he sucks. I got 33 minutes in for LaMelo Ball. I got to bring that down. Like, the dude just does not play that many minutes. So I'm going to take him to 31. I'm going to maintain the Terry Rozier 36 minutes. Oh, man, that'd be great. That'd be great. I don't think I'm that bad yet, but, could be. Kelly Oubre, minutes are down quite a bit as of late. I don't think that I need to give him 27. This feels like a 25 scenario. Oh, man, you guys are killing me today. That's good stuff. Gets me up to 10 for Jalen McDaniels, 24 for Cody Martin. I don't really have any other place to give them those minutes. And it's the Pels. So 24 for Plumlee, 22 for Trez. I mean, maybe that's too much. PJ Washington's playing even more as of late. So I guess I'm going to take 2 minutes away from Trez and give him the Peach. That all feels about right. Now we know what we need to do. It's New Orleans. There's no Brandon Ingram. There's no CJ McCollum. There might be more guys out that I don't even really know about. No CJ, no Ingram, clearly no Nance. I know they signed Ty Wallace. I can't imagine that matters. Is he Ty Wallace or Tyrone Wallace? Tyrone Wallace. All right, there we go. So he's in, just in case. All right, let's think this through. So no CJ, no Brandon Ingram. We have to assume that Devonte Graham is starting. That I don't know how else it could be the case. So 32 minutes straight to Devonte Graham. I assume that's going to look good too. We know that Joval is going to be in for like 33 minutes. Willie Hernan-Gomez only played 4 this last time out. They dusted off Trey Murphy too, which is interesting. Jackson Hayes' minutes have become a little bit weirder. I don't get the sense that today is going to be the day that changes. So we're going to pop him in for 26. I'm going to say that Willie Hernan-Gomez just gets the straight backup center run. I think that makes the most sense. Herb Jones feels pretty safe for like 33 minutes. Potentially more. Tony Snell, we know, is just going to play a shit ton. So I'm going to give him 30 minutes. And then we just need to hash out the rest of this rotation. So Alvarado, at least the backup point guard. Done. Mark Curry, that's an interesting point. Has PJ been playing better? Significantly better. Peaks and valleys this season, but past 20 games, certainly been trending up. Early in the season was really not good, so it's going pretty well for Peach there. Okay. How tall is Trey Murphy? He's like oddly tall, right? 6'8". Okay, good. So we've got Trey Murphy, we've got Najee Marshall, and that's it. And then like anybody else. All right, so Trey Murphy, we're gonna give 23 minutes. We're gonna give Najee Marshall, I don't know, 22 minutes. And then I'll give 10 to Garrett Temple. Could just as easily be Gary Clark or Alize Johnson. Now we need to get rates. Luckily, this is actually going to be easier than it seems because of the lack of Brandon Ingram. So we can say games that CJ didn't play right out of the gate. And then Brandon Ingram did miss a bunch of games. So let's just, out of curiosity, say both of them are off. How much playing time do we have when CJ and Brandon Ingram don't play? Because it's probably more than it seems. 400. That is a lot of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, too. So let's say off We'll also add Nickeil Alexander-Walker, make it 3. And let's say that Joval, Devonte Graham, and Herb Jones all started. How big is that sample? Bobby Firmino back for the Brighton game. That's exciting. That is not the biggest sample in the world. I guess I need to leave Nickeil Alexander-Walker available here. Like, how big is his usage rate? Am I underrepresenting Alvarado? Maybe. Brandon D, I don't know. Where do those minutes come from? Why is he not just a backup point guard? You know, you want to tell me that Najee Marshall plays 18 and he plays 20? Like, I can get behind that. Take 2 from Najee Marshall. Give him to Alvarado. Make them both be 19. I think that's probably best. There we go. Alexander Walker is on the Jazz. Yes, Botnuts. Yeah, like he's got a 27% usage rate in this scenario. I got to take Nickeil Alexander-Walker off, but when I do that, I run out of sample. Which I guess is just going to have to, I'm just going to have to deal with it. So let's look at this 100-minute sample that we have with these guys off. I guess instead of saying started, I'm just going to say played. Maybe that opens up a couple extra minutes, but Graham, Jones, these guys have been starting forever. So let me grab these New Orleans rates. There's a lot of value here. It's not fun. But we knew we were going to have to spend some time on the Pels. That's what happens when the 2 best guys are out. But the CJ piece makes it easy. It's the Brandon Ingram piece that complicates matters a bit. And the fact that they shipped Walker out. Brandon, they let Graham more off the ball because they brought in CJ McCollum and he started starting. I think it's different when Devonte Graham needs to start and those other 2 guys aren't going to be there. Could be wrong, but I assume the starting lineup is Graham, Snell, Herb Jones, Hayes, and Joval, at which point this offense is never going to score. All right. Is there anything that I could actually look into from a rates perspective? Devonte Graham, definitely going to have more usage. And I don't know what his price is today, but he's the guy. He's popping like crazy. Yeah, he also runs the second unit, but Joval, 26% usage rate in this spot. I like that. Najee Marshall actually with a 29% usage rate in the 111 minutes that he has. I'm not going to do anything there. I just need to make sure that I don't need to temper anybody. I think I could probably knock down Jackson Hayes a bit. Alvarado actually has a 15% usage rate in this time, so I'm going to cut his rates back. Joval actually rebounds a little bit more. Jackson Hayes rebounds a little bit more. All right. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, SMP, you're wrong. You're very wrong. I mean, like, that's what he's there for, sort of. Shot 38% from 3 last year. That's kind of why they went after him. They thought he was going to be the shooting around Zion. All right, let's do this. All right. Charlotte, first step. Lots to like here. 4 guys in green. 2 on Fanduel. That's Miles Bridges and PJ Washington. 2 on DraftKings. That's Miles Bridges and PJ Washington. But Bridges and Washington are the 2, to me, very clearly best pieces from Charlotte. I think Rozier looks all right. Oh, yeah. Devonte Graham revenge narrative, too. Theodore Parsons, I agree. Terry Rozier on DraftKings looks solid. But what we're really here for, the New Orleans Pelicans, that's a lot of big-time green. All right. Devonte Graham is green on both DraftKings and FanDuel. He's 4,300 on both sites. You're just playing Devonte Graham. I think he looks really, really good in this spot. Jovel, green on both sites. 7,500, 7,800. Looks really good. Herb Jones, green on both sites. FanDuel and DK. Jackson Hayes on FanDuel. 4K. Power forward. Do it. That's where we stand here for New Orleans. Lots to like. Well, he's not a bad shooter either. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's shooting what? Even 35% from 3 is on, 9.5 per 36 minutes is still league average. Let's see. Where does Darko have him? His 2 years in Charlotte were really, really good. He's just being paid appropriately now. That's really the problem. Let's see. Three-point percentage for Graham. It's even trending. It's been trending up quite a bit more towards this last piece of the season. But yeah, we figure like he's a true talent, 37% guy. That's about where we're at right here. Alrighty. 7:20. So we're moving pretty good. 3 games to go. Utah and San Antonio. And there's a decent chance one half of this. Now it looks like we're not going to have Bojan Bogdanovic in this one. Wrong window. Correct window. Utah. No Bojan Bogdanovic. Nailed it. This will actually matter, and I will grab the rates, although I assume it doesn't actually matter anything, but it is a jumping off point. So Rudy Gobert minutes stay the same as Whiteside. Conley stays the same. Donovan Mitchell stays the same. Daniel House potentially plays more. Trent Forrest potentially plays more. Royce O'Neal, I think we just hold in 31 minutes. Rudy Gay, I guess, could play a little bit more. Get him into 18 minutes. Basically, I have 35 minutes to go between Trent Forrest, Daniel House, and then if we think any of them go anywhere else. So I think House is going to be the guy here. But I'm basically going to go 24-24. And then that leaves me 6 minutes left over, and we'll assume Nickeil Alexander-Walker gets out there. Now, is there anything interesting for Utah when Bojan is off the floor? And we'll say that Conley, Gobert, I guess we'll also say Joe Ingles is off. We'll say Conley, Gobert, and Donovan Mitchell all start. I don't know what that sample is going to be like. Utah's weird. I'm guessing nothing changes. Okay, that's a way bigger sample than I was expecting. Because I didn't set the filter correctly. No wonder. I was like, why is Bojan Bogdanovic still on if he's on? Oh, yeah, this is basically not a sample. which isn't surprising. I mean, Boyan's 21% usage, so Donovan Mitchell's played 46 minutes in the spot. I'm not even changing any rates. I think it all stays the same. And then we go to San Antonio. For the Spurs, doubtful tag on Josh Primo. Doubtful tag on Kada. Kaycock and Romeo Lang. Well, Kaycock's available. Romeo Langford is out. This one should be pretty easy then. Basically just going to give most of Josh Primo's minutes to Josh Richardson. And then that leaves me 8 left over. Trey Jones can take 2 of them. Lonnie Walker can take 2 of them. I'm fine with Zach Collins' minutes, although I guess they went to a little bit more of Jock Landale for reasons that don't make a ton of sense. Maybe that was blowout run or something. It doesn't really matter. Vassell in for 30, probably should be 29. And then I'm just going to give Joe Wieskamp those 5 minutes. Actually, no, I'll give him to Jock Landale. San Antonio's easy. So we go to Utah. For Utah, Gobert, Mitchell, Conley are all fine on FanDuel. No priorities here, really. DraftKings, same 3 guys, but they look like slightly worse. I'm not going to, they're not going to pop up all that high here today. So on San Antonio, DeJounte Murray on DraftKings at 11K. He's very close to being a green on FanDuel at 10,800. You're not really going to anybody else from San Antonio. Maybe Jakob Poeltl on FanDuel if you want to get wild. Otherwise, I think the rest of the team legitimately stinks. 2 games to go. Where are we at on views? Um, 152 viewers, 89 likes. We are going to very easily soar over that 100 like mark. So thank you guys for that. Toronto Raptors are 6-point underdogs in Phoenix. This is, generally speaking, a pretty easy matchup to try to take a look at. For Toronto, still no Anunoby, no Malachi Flynn, which means that we're going to get 36 minutes out of Fred VanVleet and 12 out of Banton. Close enough. I'm going to assume that Chris Boucher didn't just play 12 minutes to play 12 minutes. We got Kem Birch in for 19, 23 for Precious. We're going to take Thad Young up to 18. 37 for Pascal Siakam. That'll work. 37 for Scotty Barnes. That'll work. And that'll do it for Toronto. And we go to Phoenix. Cam Johnson back out again? Yeah, no Cam Johnson. So we just saw this for, I believe, 2 games? 3 games, actually. And we do have Booker back as well. So I got Booker in for 35, Cam Payne in for 33. In the game where Cam Johnson didn't play, we got a bunch more Landry Shamet. That's obviously where most of those minutes are going to go right out of the gate. So there's 26 for Shamet. 30 for Jay Crowder. I'm going to make that 31. Somebody should get 15 minutes. Who's not in the rotation? Is it Aaron Holiday? It's Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday gets 15. I don't have to make any changes for Cam Johnson not being in. He's Cam Johnson. 32 minutes for Ayton feels about right. I'm going to go 31 instead and give JaVale that extra minute. 38 for Mikal Bridges, though. I feel comfortable there if this one's competitive. So, game number 9, Raptors. We know what we're doing here. Greens on FanDuel. Siakam, Trent, VanVleet. These are guys you want to get a bunch of. They're going to look really good all day. Siakam, Trent, VanVleet. Exceptional plays on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it's VanVleet and Trent. Siakam, to me, not that great of a play on DraftKings at 9,300. So VanVleet and Trent are the 2 best options for Toronto, particularly on FanDuel. Not much else to say. On Phoenix, Booker and Payne on DK both look good, not great. Payne sort of close there on Fanduel as well. But not a ton to like here for Phoenix. As we step up to the final game, the late night hammer, the Washington Wizards, 4-point underdogs against the Lakers, 227 total. We start with the Wizards, who appear to be at full strength. They are. So I'm actually going to start this rotation from scratch just to make it make sense a little bit more. We got no Thomas Bryant in the rotation. Daniel Gafford seems to be in for about 20 minutes. Kristaps Porzingis played 26. I'm going to say that he plays 28 here. And then we're going to get Rui in for 20. We're going to get Howell Neto in for 23. We're going to get Ish Smith in for 20. We're going to get Satoransky in for 14. Kuzma pretty easily just slots into 34. KCP slots into 32. Denny, and his minutes are all over the place. 24. Which means we're missing one guy left in this rotation. Who is it? Oh, Corey Kispert, 25 minutes. That's about right. Should it be more? It should be more. We'll take Kispert up to 27 minutes. I don't have rates to change. I'm pretty comfortable with what's in here. Daniel Gafford on DraftKings is going to look good. Porzingis on Fanduel is probably going to look okay too. Then we close it out with this stupid Lakers team. No idea who's available for these idiots. Monk, probable. LeBron, his normal self. Horton Tucker, questionable. So, should be the normal Lakers rotation, whatever the hell we want to call that. Dwight didn't play this last time out. I don't think that he's terribly interesting today. Stanley Johnson in for 24 minutes. DJ Augustine played a little bit more. No surprises there. They go to OT. They did. So Russ played like 34. I got Reeves in for 22, 24 for THT, 31 for Monk. I definitely want to go a little bit higher there. So we'll go to 32. LeBron for 37 makes sense. Melo for 28. Guess I'll make it 30 for Melo. Avery Bradley can go up to like 20. Austin Reeves, 27. Yeah, that'll work, I guess. So for Washington, Porzingis on Fanduel at 6K. I mean, if you want to take the shot, if you think he can play 28 minutes, his 5x plus 10 target is 40 fantasy points. 40 fantasy points in 28 minutes is 1.43 fantasy points per minute. No reason Kristaps Porzingis can't do that. So I think he stands out on Fanduel. I don't think anybody else stands out for Washington on either site. And then for the Lakers, it's Russ on both sites. He's up to 7,600 now on Fanduel, 8,300 on DK. To me, Russ is the best play for the Lakers. LeBron, a close second. Now, we run our crunches. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for getting us through here on a great Friday. We're well over 100 likes now, 160 viewers. Great way to start the day. So let's run our crunches. We'll start on Fanduel. There we go. We want that one. First one up, FanDuel Optimal. I don't really have a great feel for what's going to be in this either. 357. This is the optimal by 0.4 of a point. Luka Doncic, Donovan Mitchell, Alec Burks, Devonte Graham, Jaylen Brown, Anthony Edwards, Porzingis, Jackson Hayes, Joval. All that looks fine. Orlando, I only have 222 minutes total. Is that true? Nope. Not true. Mildly true? Why is it not showing me that up here, though? $48, $48, $48, $48, $48. Why is that not adding up correctly? Why is Josh recommending Russ? Because he's a good play, man. Because he's a good play. I know you don't totally understand DFS, but it happens. Why is Orlando only showing 222 there? I appreciate you pointing that out, Mike. The minutes are in there. For some reason, it's not adding in Fultz's minutes. Oh, because I deleted that cell. There we go. That makes sense. All right. We're at 240 now. All right, power rankings on FanDuel. All right, who's going to be in that number one spot? Looking like Luka. Yeah, it'll be close. Yeah, it's going to be Luka. LeBron ranking a little bit higher than I was expecting. It must be a positional thing. Small forward, power forward, yeah. He's better on FanDuel. We'll see him fall on DraftKings. Not a huge difference here. Flexibility matters. But yeah, Luka Doncic, top of the heap here. He's not a good play. He's broken. Let's do this for a second. He had 49.6 fantasy points in their last game. Even if you want to take off 5 of those for overtime. He had 49. He had 40 10 days ago. He's 7,600. 5x plus 10 is 48. What are we talking about here? He's not 10K anymore. Oh my God. The stupidity is just staggering. Staggering. Incredible. I'm not surprised, but incredible. Luka Doncic is your number one play on FanDuel. It's not close. Next up is Anthony Edwards and Herb Jones. Keep your eye there because we don't know if Edwards is playing. Everybody above 15%. Porzingis, Van Vliet, LeBron, Miles Bridges, Devonte Graham, Joval, DeJounte Murray, Robert Williams, Jimmy Butler. I mean, I like basically everything up here. And I'm generally a little over on Herb Jones, but clearly the opportunities are going to go up here. 4,300 is the lowest his price. I mean, this is a guy that was in the 6s in January. So down to 4,300. It's a great time to get Herb Jones. Am I playing on FanDuel tonight? Probably not, but I'm not entirely sure. My in-laws are coming in town today. So I don't know. My wife's birthday is on Monday. I don't know if we're going to go out to eat tonight or not. I know we are tomorrow, but I don't ever play on Saturdays. All right, DraftKings Optimal. Workout with I'm going to need a workout with a bottle of wine. The real workout that's going to be a problem is tomorrow's. Today will be just upper body. It won't make much of a difference how dead my lower body is. All right, optimals on DraftKings. 298.2. Devonte Graham, Alec Burks, Herb Jones, Marvin Bagley, Jackson Hayes, Luka, PJ Washington, Joval. But there's your 4 Charlotte Hornets guys. No surprises. Our rankings on DraftKings. Oh, my back. Everything's sore. Brandon, I don't mind that at all. Love my in-laws. Well, there's two very clear top pieces on DK today, and that would be Devonte Graham and Joe Val. They are separating from the pack. Devonte Graham in particular, even separating from Joe Val. But Devonte Graham, clear number one on DK. Joe Val, clear number two on DK. We've got Luka and Herb Jones in this like third tier. And then we drop down to everybody above 10%. This is where it gets flat though. Burks, Washington, Murray, Russell, Trent, Dean Wade, Cade, Jaren Jackson Jr., Melo, Miles Bridges. DraftKings just gets a little tricky after that. And then finally, we close it out. Yahoo Optimals. We have Devonte Graham, Donovan Mitchell, Alec Burks, Herb Jones, Jackson Hayes, PJ Washington, Joe Val, and Luka Doncic. Surprised to see Donovan Mitchell in there. Let's look at the power rankings on Yahoo now. And again, thanks for being here, guys. Take 2 days off here before we start another new week. Might be at my mom and dad's house starting Monday. We shall see. Keep our eyes peeled for that. Won't matter to you guys. You'll just see me show up there on Monday. All right. Yahoo, a little bit different. It's pretty flat at the top. No clear delineations. Nobody separating from the pack. Value's just different on Yahoo. You don't get as much utility out of that bottom tier. So number one play on Yahoo. I'm just going to give you the top 10 because they're all basically linear order. No real jumps. Joe Val, Edwards, Alec Burks, Devonte Graham, Russ, PJ Washington, Reggie Jackson, Robert Williams, Trent, 2, 4, 6, 8, Trent, Terry Rozier, and I'll say Cam Payne and Luka Doncic since they're all tied together. But for Sean Dre, make sure you're playing some Russell Westbrook today, at least on Yahoo and on Fanduel, because guys have salaries. And it matters what those salaries are. For some reason, we're going to treat it like it's not true, but it is true. And someone that could just go for 1.24 fantasy points per minute, if he plays 34 minutes and scores 42 fantasy points, you are very, very okay with that today. That won't be a huge problem. But apparently he's broken and you shouldn't play him ever, no matter what your salary is. Obviously, that makes no sense. So we ignore the things that don't make sense. Last sip of coffee. It's probably cold. It's cold adjacent. Alrighty, guys. That'll do it. Once again, right here. Shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Bedhead. I woke up like this. I come here straight for you guys. Hopefully Devonte Graham has a big day today. I'm hoping I can play a little bit. At the very least, I'll be able to sweat a round and a half of golf today. Off to a decent start. I got a decent amount of the hoagie, man, but we'll see where we end up there. Guys, thanks for being here. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Have some fun tonight. Have some fun this weekend. Be safe. This was The Process.